guys! Welcome back to our channel, Dinosaur Lover Team. And for today's video, I will gonna share our K1 and K2 visa, which is, this is just way back 2018 pa siya guys. At ngayon ko pa lang siya na-decide na i-share. At baka naman makatulong, lalo na ngayong pandemya. So, my fiancé sent his petition to us. First week of September. And then, yung NOAA 1 namin, guys, is September 13, 2018. At saka, by February 2019, so, September siya nag-send, diba? So, October, November, December, January, February. By 5 months, naka-receive kami ng RFA, which is request for more evidence. Yung RFA namin is yung 2x2 picture ko at saka yung 2x2 yung passport ba. At saka yung pangalawa is yung divorce decree niya kasi hindi siya nagpasa kasi. The reason why we are nag-RFA kami for the 2x2 photo because I just asked somebody to take picture of me on my phone and send it to him, which is hindi naman yung tama kasi may format yun, diba? May format yung passport picture, may size yun. So, yun, hindi tinanggap yung 2x2 ko, which is nag-send naman kami pero hindi siya proper format, size format. Then sa divorce decree ni Habi, di kasi siya nag-send kasi sabi niya may reason pa siya. Nag-send kasi siya ng death certificate ng latest wife niya. Tapos, bakit kailangan pa daw yung divorce decree kung nakapag-asawa siya or something like that. But, we sent our RFA 3 days after we receive the letter. Kasi madali lang siya, yung papers andun na. So, yung pag-send na lang. So, nagka-NOAA 2 kami guys is March 6, 2019. So, from September, yung NOAA namin is September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It is all over 6 months. 6 months of process from NOAA 1 to NOAA 2. So, after na kami nagka-NOAA 2 guys, by March 6, 2019, na-receive namin yung NVC letter by April 15. So, from March 6 to April 6, that's 1 month, plus, i-plus natin yung so, nagka-NOAA 2 kami guys by March 6, diba? March 6, 2019. Na-receive namin yung NVC letter guys, April 15. So, that's more than a month. Yung yung case number namin, na-receive namin siya more than a month. Kasi siya, March 6, so April 6, that's 1 month. At saka yung na-receive yung NVC namin, April 15 na. So, that's more than 1 month. Which is, 39 days siya, guys. So, pasok pa rin siya sa sa timeline. Kasi it's, like, 2 to 6 weeks. 2 to 6 weeks yung NVC, yung case number natin. So, after namin na-receive yung NVC letter, guys, nag-decide kami for the medical there in St. Luke's by May 20. Kasi summer siya, at saka walang yung mga bata. Walang pasok yung mga bata. So, nag-medical kami sa St. Luke's by May 20. At saka ito pa, guys, bigyan ko kayo ng tip. In case, kung mag-book kayo ng flight, sa akin lang to ha, ginawa ko to. Kung nag-book ako ng flight, binigyan ko siya ng 6 days in case masputum ako. So, sinabi ko sa fiancé ko, mag-stay na lang kami ng Manila for 6 days in case for sputum or any delayed sa medical. So, nagstay kami ng 6 weeks sa Manila. And, note guys, this is our first time in Manila and we are so excited, nervous at the same time. Now, yung ticket ko, we fly May 19 at in the morning. May 19 in the morning. At saka yung pabalik, that's Sunday. At saka yung pabalik ng Cebu is, ano pa siya, nagstay kami ng Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, 6 days yung binook namin na flight. So, nagpunta kami sa sa St. Luke's Medical May 20, which is Monday morning. Monday morning siya. Nag-start kami, pumunta kami doon by 6:30. At saka, pala guys, nagstay kami sa Paragon Hotel, which is yung nakakaalam ng Paragon Hotel, which is 2 minutes, 3 minutes walk from the St. Luke's. For the reason that I have 2 boys, I have 2 kids, and I don't want them to travel, travel more. So, yung palakad-lakad lang kami, yun lang kasi mahirap pag may anak, mahirap pag may kasama ka, 'di ba? Iba yung naka-solo ka lang talaga, solo flight. So, nagstay kami sa Paragon. And then pumunta kami doon by 6:30. Hindi kami masyadong maaga, guys, kasi yung iba 'di ba, nakapila na by 4 kahit close pa yung St. Luke. So, hindi ako pumunta ng masyadong maaga kasi nga may mga anak ako. So, pumunta kami doon by 6:30 and hindi naman siya masyadong madaming tao kahit Monday. Sabi kasi nila madami daw tao pag Monday, which is hindi ko naman inanda kasi yung nasa isip ko lang, basta matapos ko lang that day, okay na ako. Basta matapos ko lang that day. At saka, so nag-start kami by 6:30. Doon kami sa left side ng may table doon sa left side ng entrance ng St. Luke's. Doon chinek yung picture, yung appointment, at saka yung dinikit nila yung yung ibang hiningi ko. So, and then, after that, we go to the information. We wait for a couple of minutes. And then, may number ka, diba? May number ka. Tatawagin ka. Yun, itatanong doon, sinong petitioner, anong name mo. Yun lang. Easy lang naman. Hindi naman masyado. Nakaka-nervous. Sabi nila, nakaka-nervous. Pero, kung lang, yung mindset natin, magiging okay lang. Hindi naman, para sa experience ko guys, hindi naman siya masyadong mahirap. May fill upan ka, relax lang, be at yourself. Yung anak ko, yung information lang na, nasagap talaga sa isip ko, yung anak ko, kinuhaan ng dugo for them, because they are not allowed to do the x-ray. So, ako, in-x-ray ako. Pero yung anak ko, yung dugo lang yung kinuha nila. At saka, by the first day, natapos ako by 2 p.m. Natapos kami by 2 p.m. So, hindi naman siya masyadong talaga. Yung yung iba lang, yung mga nurse. yung mga nurse lang, minsan mga, sila, nagmamadali, ng ganyan. Pero okay lang, caring lang natin sa lalo na mga Bisaya. Caring natin yan. So, yun, nakapag-experience din ako ng yung hubad na chinecheck ng doktor. At yung mga anak ko din, na-experience din nila yung pinahubad sila with me. So, pinahubad sila at saka tinanong yung mga anak ko tinanong ng 1 plus 1, 3 plus 9, ganun. So, carry lang para sa mga bata. Kasi yung iba, nagpo-post sa group na yung medical na mga bata. Yung mga bata, kukuhanan lang ng dugo at saka yun, sa whole body medical, maghubad sila pero with the mother at saka itatanong lang yung mga plus lang addition. So yun, natapos kami noon at 2 p.m. So, pinabalik kami. Then, by the next day, doon ko nalaman na, okay yung result ng mga anak ko. Pero ako, under sputum ako kasi may nakita silang something dot on my x-ray. So, na-sputum ako. So, yun nga, nagpapasalamat pa rin ako na binigyan ko yung flight ko ng 6 days. Pero, na-worried ako at the same time. Kasi kailangan kong pumunta ng St. Luke's. Yun din ang advantage kung nag-stay ka ng hotel malapit sa St. Luke's. Kung in case mas sputum ka, lalakarin mo lang. So, nag-sputum ako for 3 days, sputum collection. At saka, I'm glad and God bless me talaga. Kasi may kaibigan ako dito sa Cebu na nasa Manila siya. Mega shout out to Rian and siya, she's with me the whole time. Yung kailangan ko pumunta ng St. Luke's ng maaga, siya yung nag-aalaga ng anak ko. Anyway, yung sputum is, punta ka doon, bibigyan ka ng number, tapos magstay ka doon, depende kung gaano kadami yung tao. Yung first day ko kasi madami, kaya nagstay ako like 2 to 3 hours bago umabot yung number ko. Pero by my last day, Friday, madali lang siya, like 1 hour lang ako doon kasi hindi na madami. Now, after your 3 days sputum collection, may pa siya, may follow-up, check-up pa siya for the last, doon kasi explain, may evaluation pala yun. Evaluation tawag nila doon. Doon nila i-explain kung bakit ka na sputum, papakita nila yung x-ray mo, and then, now, I will give you, as I start my medical Monday, pinabalik kami Tuesday. Noon, nalaman ko na sputum ako. Nag-start ako ng sputum collection Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And note guys, sinabi ko kanina na binigyan ko siya ng 6 days. Friday, uuwi na kami. Now, supposed to be the evaluation is the next week. Kasi walang evaluation kung Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, walang evaluation. So, nakiusap ako sa mga nurse doon na kailangan ko na umuwi ng Friday. Flight ko is 5 p.m. Kailangan ko na umuwi sa Cebu ng Friday kasi nakabook na ako ng flight. Now, ang ginawa ng mga nurse, guys, since I have my collection early in the morning by Friday, na in-schedule nila ako ng evaluation Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. or 1 p.m. Basta hindi na nakauwi kami ng Cebu kasi in-schedule, makiusap ka lang sa mga nurse, dalhin mo yung flight ticket mo at i-schedule ka nila kasi naman sila, mabait naman yung mga nurse doon. In-schedule ako ng Friday afternoon 1 p.m. para makauwi ako, hindi na ako mag-rebook. So, yun lang, sa evaluation, in-explain nila anong nakita nila doon at saka yun, bibigay nilang yung schedule kung kailan ka babalik. At saka yun, mabait sila. At saka lang talaga, wag na lang tayong mahiyang makiusap, 'di ba? Kasi kung maiintindihan naman nila. So, yun guys, pinabalik ako ng, that's 2 months, right? The result is 2 months. So, pinabalik nila ako ng July 23. July 23. Ano yun, diba? That's May. Nasputum ako May. So, June, July. So, pinabalik ako ng July 23 dun sa St. Luke's. And we are so happy because we are able to do our vaccination and negative yung result niya. And then, nung nasa Cebu ako, lagi akong nag-check ng interview. Di ba makikita mo dun sa interview slot, anong date yung meron. 1 month after 1 month after the sputum, guys, I have the feeling that, bakit di naman siguro, yung yung courage lang, positive taga, negative yung result. Negative yung result. At saka, ayaw ko naman bumalik naman ng Manila, tapos, uuwi, tapos, babalik na naman for interview. So, lagi akong nag-look at sa interview available slots kung ano ang malapit sa July 23. So, nakakuha ako ng July 25 na interview. Ano ba yun? Yung ipipray ko na lang, Lord, negative yung yung result, at saka ma-vaccinize ako at the same time, makakuha ako ng slot for interview na malapit sa para hindi na ako gagastos ng flight pabalik-balik, diba? So, yun, nakakuha ako ng July 25 na interview slot. So, yung interview namin is scheduled by 7:15. Pero, pumunta na kami doon ng 6:30 at saka madami ng tao. Madami ng tao, guys. Now, first step, doon sa labas, kuhanin nila yung passport mo, valid passport mo, at saka DS-160. I-check yun. Tapos, may ididikit sila doon na number. Yun. Yun ang first step ng interview. Second step, papasok ka doon sa i-check nila yung bag mo, yung shoes mo, ganon. So, next step, doon magla-line ka sa kung saan nabilong yung mga K1 visa. Paupuin kayo doon. Paupuin kayo, yung zigzag, yung upuan nila naka-zigzag for the initial interview. So, we undergo the initial interview, guys. Ang tanong lang is, my name, who is the petitioner, when is my birthday, my petitioner's birthday, yun lang, at saka chinek yung papers, yung affidavit of support, yun. At saka yung anak ko sa initial interview, ang tanong lang is, what is your name, at saka when is your birthday, so yun lang. Pagkatapos dun, punta ka sa window for fingerprint. Pina-fingerprint kami ulit kasi doon sa sa US Embassy. So, after the fingerprint, punta ka na naman sa line for final interview. Now, we go there 6:30, guys. Natapos yung interview kasi madaming interviewin na K1 visa, ang daming gustong makapunta sa Amerika. Ang daming yung mag-aasawa ng Amerikano. So, yun, pumunta kami ng 6:30. Siguro nakapasok kami sa loob by 7 or 7:30. Nakita ko yung isang kaibigan ko doon na taga Cebu din. Pero natapos kami, pinalunch. Hindi kami natapos by lunch, guys. Pinalunch break pa kami by 12. So, pagbalik namin ng 1, kunti na lang kami, like 15 of us. So, noon, yun, natapos yung interview namin ng anak ko, like 1:30. Question sa interview, guys. My name, my petitioners, my birthday, petitioner's birthday. Sa anak ko, walang tinanong sa final interview kasi nag-focus kasi sila sa affidavit of support namin. Kinuha yung I-134 ko at saka chinek doon. Sadly, guys, natutuwan G kami for ITR and W2. At saka in-explain ko doon na walang ITR at W2 si Habi kasi siya pensioner siya sa Social Security. So yun. Pinapunta ako sa ibang window doon sa dulo, which is yun, ganun pa rin ang explanation nila. Tapos pagtawag ko kay Habi, sabi niya I can show them ITR in W2 because I'm not working. Because hindi ko pa siya naiintindihan nun, guys. Nalilito pa ako ano yung W2, ano yung ITR, sinong makakuha doon. So, yun, in-explain ni Habi na we can't provide that. So, tumawag ako sa embassy na, yun, in-explain ko ulit. Tapos, in-explain ko ulit, yun, hindi kami maka-provide dito kasi walang work na si Habi. Sa Social Security pensioner siya. At saka, sinabi lang doon, we will work about it. Now, nag-send sila ng letter sa akin that we are public charge. And, naghingi ako ng advice. Public charge kasi, sabi nila, yun, ibig sabihin nun, kailangan makashow ka ng proof na hindi ka pabigat sa gobyerno dito. Kung sakaling makakapunta ka dito, hindi ka pabigat sa gobyerno. So, advice ng mga kaibigan ko, kuha kami ng co-sponsor. Yun. Diba na-interview ako, guys, by July. Sinubukan pa namin mag-send ulit ng I-134 for the assets. For the assets and liabilities ni Habi, pero hindi pa rin siya inonor kasi siguro kasi hindi pa enough kasi tatlo kami ako at yung dalawang anak ko. That's August. Nag-send pa kami ng assets and liabilities by August, which is hindi inonor kasi nag-send sila ulit ng public charge letter again. Same public charge letter again. Now, advice na mga friends ko, kuha kayo ng co-sponsor na malaki talaga yung income. Kasi tatlo kami. Dapat yung co-sponsor namin makapasa sa poverty guidelines. Now, hindi naman madali kumuha ng co-sponsor, guys. Kasi yung responsibility, hindi naman lahat ng tao gusto ng responsibility na hindi ka-related, diba? So, one day, one day, may nag-offer na lang, pero he's a good friend of mine. God is so good talaga that one day, he asked about our K1 visa, how was it going? And then, nag-offer siya na, siya daw yung gusto kami tulungan. Yun, chinek ni Habi yung ITR niya. At saka yung malaki yung income niya. Kaya yun, pina-fill up namin siya ng I-134 at saka kinuha namin yung tax niya, yung yung ibang income niya. Tapos sinend namin. Now guys, nag-send kami ng co-sponsor. Na siya? Second week of October. Kasi nahirapan kami sa maghanap ng co-sponsor talaga. So, second week of September na. So, week of September na siya. So, second week of September, nag-send kami ng co-sponsor. Tapos, nag-administrative processing siya ulit. Kasi yung status ko, nag-refuse, chance to refuse na siya. So, as soon as they receive our co-sponsor, nag-administrative processing siya. Yung pag-send ko sa co-sponsor nga, yung passport ko lang yung pinadala ko kasi akala ko, nag-send pa kami ng letter doon ni fiancé na kung hindi ma-carry yung mga bata, kung pwede ako lang muna. So, yung passport ko lang yung sinend ko. Tapos, so, we are on the decision na siguro ifa-follow na yung mga bata later kung okay na yung buhay ko dito, kung okay na dito sa US. Now, as soon as they receive the co-sponsor papers, nag-administrative processing yung status ko. Tapos, naka-receive ako ng call na, ma'am, padala mo yung passport ng mga anak mo. Yun, sobrang happy ko. Sorry guys. Sobrang happy ko kasi hindi maiiwan yung mga ko kasi guys, mahirap. Kasi may mga times kasi na, ayaw ko sana mag-desisyon ng gano'n, na iiwan yung mga anak ko. Yun, sobrang happy ako. I said, I call my fiance early, even it's early in the morning here in US na, the US embassy called me that, I will send the passport of the kids. And they said, that's great. I mean, mahirap yung iwan yung anak ko kasi never ko pa sila iniwan ng yung matagal. So yun, pinadala yung passport ng mga anak ko. The next day talaga pinadala ko siya. The next day talaga. Kasi guys, 'di ba, July kami nakapasa ng medical. Yung expiration date ng sputum, 'di ba, 3 months lang siya. So, nakapasa kami ng medical 3 months. July, August, September, October. So, 3 months lang yung medical, yung validity ng medical namin, yung mga sputum. So, October. And I tell you guys earlier, na September last week, na-send yung passport ng mga anak ko. So, yun. Nagmamadali na kami kasi ma-expire nga yung medical. At saka yung, diba, yung validity ng visa, nakabase sa validity ng medical. Yun. So, first week of October, nag-issued siya. Nag-issued siya by October 3. By October 3, nag-issued yung, issued yung visa namin. So, the happiness na na-issued kaming tatlo, it's overwhelming. And I know, guys, that you feel the same. It's very overwhelming. And then, 1 week sana, guys. 1 week sana, ma-receive na namin kasi nasa Cebu City kami, 'di ba? So, yung mga, based on sa mga tanong-tanong ko na nasa Cebu City, 1 week lang, na-receive na nila yung visa nila. Now, guys, nakarinig pa ako ng balita na hinold nila yung mga passport na may visa na na-issued by this date kasi, ewan ko kung totoo ba ito. I'm not really sure about that issue, but hinold nila kasi may isang visa daw na tatak nila sa 2 passport. So, kasama yung sa amin kasi bakit hindi ko siya na-receive by 1 week? At saka, guys, ito pa, dapat kung na-issued siya by 3, which is Friday ba yun, dapat by the next week ma-receive ko na siya, diba? By Monday, by the next week. So, by the next week, wala kaming na-receive, guys. And the other week, doon, tawag ako sa embassy. Sana yung sana yung visa namin kasi mag-expired yun. Kasi hindi daw nila na-check na yung visa namin is for ma-expired siya in the middle of October. October 19 yung expiration niya, guys. So, in short, nag-issued siya by October 3, na-receive ko siya by October 16. October 16 na-receive ko, kasi nagtawag ako nga eh. October 16, na-receive ko siya, kinuha ko pa siya sa To-Go warehouse sa Mandawi. Kinuha ko pa talaga siya, kasi gusto ko na maunahan yung visa ko, kasi naglipad daw siya ng Manila 16 in the morning. So, yung To-Go, yung airplane, the visa, yung airplane, lilipad siya by 3, then, 1 hour lang yun, diba? Manila to Cebu. It will be in the airport by 4, and then, it takes 1 hour to go to the warehouse, or something like that. So, pumunta ako ng warehouse by 6 p.m. Na-receive ko siya, yung 3 visa namin, ng anak ko. October 16. May nakasulat pa nun sa visa, guys. Important. Kasi nga, pina-prioritize na siya ng US Embassy. Kasi nga, mag-expire na. So, October 16, na-receive ko siya at 7 p.m. Tapos, happy guys, at saka at the same time worried kasi magbubuk pa si fiancé ng flight kasi si fiancé hindi siya nagbubuk ng flight until mag-visa onhan kami kasi hindi namin alam, 'di ba? Maggagastos naman kami. So, na-receive ko siya by 16 at night. Sabi ni Habi, matulog ka na, ni fiancé, matulog ka na, mag-relax ka, mag-book ako ng ticket ngayon, and when you wake up in the morning, you already have a ticket and prepare yourself to fly the next day. So, natulog ako by 16 night, nagising ako, yun, may flight, may ticket na kami. Pumunta pa ako sa guys, CFO 17 in the morning, at saka natapos ako dun by 11. At saka yung flight namin is by 17 at 3 p.m. So, after ko pumunta ng CFO na, pero naka-impake na yung mga gamit namin guys, by the week na, by that week. Naka-impake na yung gamit na ko, kasi sabi ng ibang mga kaibigan ko, mag-impake ka na, kasi pag-receive ng visa mo, lilipad ka na, which is I'm ready already. I'm ready naman na lilipad ako. At saka nag-impake na ako doon, na-impake na ako kahit wala pa yung visa ko. Now, after I go to the CFO 17 in the morning, we fly 3 p.m. in the afternoon going to Hong Kong to California. Pagdating namin sa California, guys, doon na lang ako nakahinga. Kasi, diba, ahead tayo ng 1 day. Umabot kami ng California, October 18, 1 a.m. 1 a.m. kami umabot. So, pagkatapos ko namin pumunta sa port of entry, doon na lang ako nakahingaan. Walang interview sa port of entry namin sa San Francisco, California. Walang tanong yung mga officer, kinuha lang yung passport, yung packet namin, yung passport, tinatakan siya. Wala nang interview. Siguro pagod yung mga officer kasi 1 a.m. kami 1 a.m. kami umabot doon. So, doon ako nakahinga. Natulog kami sa sa California Airport kasi yung layover namin 9 hours pa. From California, magpa-fly pa kami ng isang plane like 7 hours going to my husband to Tennessee. I am here in the state of Tennessee, guys. And yun, advice ko lang sa inyo, huwag tayong hindi natin maiwasan yung magpanic, 'di ba? Pero always think that God is working on us. Kasi guys, if God is not with me that time, yung pa lang, yung flight pa lang, walang delay, wala siyang delay, straight yung flight namin. Safe and straight yung flight namin, yung pinipray ko din yun na straight yung flight namin. Kasi kung ma-delayed yung flight, at di ako makaabot, kasi 1 day na lang siya umabot kami na October 18. By the 19, mag-expire na siya. So, di ba, kailangan di ba, 1 day before the expiration, dapat nasa port of entry ka na, which is yun yung nangyari namin. So, God is working in our life, guys, and never lose hope that we will be with our fiancé, and love takes everything. Love endures everything. Talaga. Sa yung sa story namin. Ayun, October 18, like 6 p.m. yun, nakita ko na si fiancé. Doon pa kami kita sa Tennessee Airport. So guys, sana makatulong yung experience namin sana makatulong siya na makatulong sa iba na nagwo-worried, lalo na ngayong pandemic. Sana makatulong siya. And nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng tao na na-meet ko, sa lahat ng ladies na na-meet ko through my K1 visa journey. Marami sila JV, Irene, who else? Yung mga kagrupo ko na with exchange conversation, and Lizelle, I'm so glad I met you guys. And kung makikita niyo sa likod ko, guys, yung yung family picture namin, yung kinasal ako. So, victorious over all the worries. Hindi naman madali yung nadaanan natin, mga K1. Siguro yung iba madali lang, pero meron talagang katulad namin na may struggle. And thank you for all the prayers. Salamat sa lahat, at saka I hope it will help. Thank you so much. And that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.